Hi, my name is Mark Kirsten. I've been a docent here at the Lincoln Park Conservatory since 2016. So this is the palm house. Most of the plants in this room are supposed to be tropical plants, which means they live 15 degrees of the equator, one side or another. We have our koi pond that was just recently fixed, but we don't have any koi in it yet. But we have some beautiful water lilies, which I just love. I really like starting my tour right here because we have the sausage plant. And the sausage plant grows in Africa. And when it blooms, it comes down on these, the blooms come down on these long stalks. And when they're pollinated, which is at night by bats, they become more fragrant at night to attract the bats. After they're pollinated, we end up with the sausages, which can be up to like 12 to 15 pounds. Sometimes some of these vines hold 3 or 4 of these sausages, which means they could be holding up to 60 pounds. The thing is, this tree needs to be cross-pollinated. So the only way we get sausages here at the Lincoln Park Conservatory is we have to trade our pollen with the domes up in Milwaukee. Then they bring them back, they hand pollinate the plant, and within a couple of weeks, you can start seeing the sausages. These sausages will stay on the trees sometimes up to 2 years. They're not edible by humans, mostly by large mammals, elephants, rhinos, animals like that. But it's a great way to start our tour. We have a lot of plants that are in the banana family. Not all of them get bananas. This plant here is a giant bird of paradise or a white bird of paradise. These plants most likely can get to be about 50 feet tall. They do cut it back every so often and just has a new sprout. You can see some of the blooms, but they've pretty much died off. We have a new bloom coming out. I don't know exactly when it'll open, but it's in a perfect spot. People will be able to see it. So a lot of our trees in here are palms, and we also have these palms, but no one's really interested in these. Banana is a plant, not a tree. So once the bananas are grown and fully developed, they will cut the whole piece down and a new sprout will come up. I don't know if we have any new ones. You can see sometimes if they haven't covered them where the old ones are, but right now I don't see any. But these are more like ornamental bananas. I think I read there's about 1,200 different kinds of bananas that grow, and we only really eat one kind. I mean, there are plantains, but mainly the one kind of banana. These are the blooms of the banana. You see the red. Every time a set of leaves open, there's another row of bananas, and once they get pollinated, they will get big enough, and once the plant runs out of energy, it'll stop producing bananas, and you'll end up with all this extra space. You can always tell plants that are like in the banana family, they have these elongated leaves. This is lobster claw. This is the way it blooms. You'll get more claws out of it. It's just starting to bloom again. It's a really pretty plant, but can't grow it outside here. Straight ahead we have some Hive Ginger. Usually those are more in the late summer, and all the ginger sometimes we'll have that whole section filled, but it's great that you could see this. Actually, those aren't the flowers. The flowers come out, and they're small, and that's what attracts whatever is going to pollinate these. This is another form of ginger, and you can see the blooms on it. And like I say, most of the ginger that I've seen blooming around here has really nice flowers, really nice colors. This is also a form of ginger. So you can see how nice the colors are. This is the Yangyang Tree. The woman who runs this room, Maria, who is so helpful to me and teaches me so much about these plants, just showed me about this plant. This is the bloom. This is what they make Chanel No. 5 out of. This will be my wife's anniversary gift. One little dab of Chanel No. 5. This is our corpse flower. We got this corpse flower, I think, about a year ago. I was told they started growing it at the Garfield Park Conservatory. I think the plant is about 6 years old. Corpse flowers don't bloom for the first 7 to 10 years. So hopefully within the next 1 to 4 years this will bloom. The reason they call this a corpse flower is because the smell it emits is like rotting flesh. And the reason it does that is to attract certain kind of insects, certain kinds of beetles and flies. There are 2 kinds of flowers in the corpse flower. There's a male flower and a female flower. The female flower opens first, which means the insects have to go to another corpse flower where the male flower is already open and get the pollen and pollinate it. The blooms can, I think, be well over 6 to 7 feet tall. The blooms only last a couple days, and I think this year, most likely I've seen 5 places around the country where they've had the corpse flowers blooming. Matter of fact, they've put them on closed circuit TV because they've had such crowds that people can't all get to see it. And maybe some people don't want to smell it either. So this is another plant that's in the banana family, and this is a bigger form of lobster claw. And you can see how tall these get. Nice part about them is the blooms really last for a long time. They're really hard and everything. So we have a mahogany tree. They just cut it back about a year or so ago. And with the palm trees, we used to have a lot of taller palm trees in here. Problem with palm trees is they can't be cut from the top. So once they get to the top, they get to the roof, they have to cut them down. So we do have, I think, 15 greenhouses in back where we're growing more plants. Also, they get other plants from Garfield Conservatory. I know a lot of people at home have philodendrons. I'm sure they don't have philodendrons that get this big. This is also a philodendron. You can see the size of the stalks. I had someone ask me one day if they thought they could grow this at home, and I said it would be no problem as long as you had a conservatory. Some of these plants, unless you come here or unless you travel a lot, you'll never see these plants. And it's just an amazing thing to see all these plants in one spot. I believe that it's most likely the freshest air in Chicago too, with the plants cleaning the air and recycling everything.